Hey everyone, and welcome back. Now, today we're going to be talking about Solana because what we've seen recently in Solana is it really has just kind of been a little bit boring compared to the rest of the market. Obviously, after the US election, the market has moved up pretty wildly. Solana definitely partook in that, but I think over the past maybe 3-4 weeks, we've seen a lot more out of other different crypto projects. I mean, Sui doing relatively well. I mean, XRP and Cardano kind of being really the big ones, I would say. HBAR being another one that's done really quite well. So there's a lot that have kind of started to take over some of the steam that I would say Solana had really kind of been holding for basically all of the rest of 2024. And so I want to talk a little bit about should we be selling Solana? Are there other opportunities elsewhere? All of that type of stuff. But before we do that, now let's go on ahead and jump into crypto bubbles and take a look. So starting out, we can see on the day, basically everything is down. Solana down 5%, like everything else is down, right? I mean, Bitcoin's down 2%, ETH is 3.4%. We're seeing, a ton of ETH projects down. I mean, Sui's down, Bonk's down, Jasmy's down, Cardano's down, XRP's down, Aptos is down. Basically everything is down except for a couple very minor ones here. Two of the bigger ones being meme coins. So overall, I mean, things down everywhere throughout the market. But if we look at the week, obviously everything's still up kind of huge, even just on the week. And then month, I mean, basically no red bubbles in sight, except for, Radium and Jupiter being kind of the two very tiny exceptions, what we're seeing here. But overall, I mean, 353%, 335%, almost 500% here, 269% here. Massive moves everywhere that we're seeing. So, I mean, overall, we're seeing really, really great things coming out of the crypto ecosystem just more generally. But focusing specifically on Solana, we wanted to take a look at kind of what we're seeing in the chart lately. And so here we can see a couple of things. So we've seen basically ever since the US election, we had a low of about 158. We topped out at just over 260. Hitting all-time highs here for Solana. We did break all-time highs, I think, a little bit further back in March, I believe, when we were hitting up in the 200 range. This, I believe, was all-time highs. If not, it was up in this range in terms of market cap. We have been over that previously on other videos, so I'm not going to go too much into that. But overall, basically, kind of, the key takeaway is all-time highs broken by whatever metric you want to take a look at. But what we have seen ever since then is kind of just a little bit of consolidation. And I think people are getting a little bit bored with Solana just because from the rest of the year, I mean, we've seen very, very strong moves. Solana done really, really well. Even at this point in time where Bitcoin was sitting in a descending channel, we can see Solana really wasn't. I mean, it was just kind of ranging between kind of the 120 range and up at the 200 range, kind of consolidating down close to the 160 range for, I would say, the majority of it, particularly the last end of this wedge between August and October, mid-October, I guess we could say. So overall, Solana done very, very well. Even if we zoom out a little bit further and look at the year, I mean, we can see mega moves basically ever since I don't know, we could say June of 2023. It's almost been up only. We did see a little bit of a pullback here, but basically been almost up only for the better part of a year and a half almost at this point. And so this is the first time that we have seen at least at all-time highs, some pullbacks here. Obviously, we've seen pullbacks here and there and wherever else. And that's essentially kind of what I want to talk about, right? I mean, Solana's done incredibly well, but it has seen periods of time where it pulls back. I mean, we're seeing it here. We've seen it here. I mean, this was a 3-month pullback that we saw here. I mean, this one over here, this was a 2-month pullback almost. So, I mean, we've seen it here. We've seen very sharp short-term pullbacks. Overall, I mean, even though it feels like Solana's been almost up only, it hasn't actually, right? And so what we're seeing here, in my opinion, is a really, really good thing in the sense that we are essentially consolidating up very, very close to all-time highs, which is a really good thing to see. Obviously, we've held previous highs where we've turned it into a pretty strong support right now. We are sitting on the bottom of it. There is a possibility that maybe we break it and drop into this lower channel, but at least right now things looking really, really strong. And I think in basically any other market, people would be very happy with what we've seen going on right now. In this market though, people aren't. I think mainly just because there's been a lot of other crazy things happen. In all the other markets, Solana has been the one, right? So it's been the best investment. It's been gone up the most, done all that type of stuff. Well, now we start to see things come around like HBAR and XRP and XLM and ADA and some of these that have kind of gotten more traction in terms of price action, but also they have a lot more retail attention, things like that. I mean, the XRP army is insane. Cardano has a very, very strong fan base. We have HBAR. It's got, I would say, a much smaller, but a pretty dedicated fan base overall. And so we're starting to see some of those kind of come back to life. However, I don't think it should be ignored that Solana still, from a fundamental perspective, is looking fantastic. And we are also seeing that price is holding very well also. Solana meme coins have done okay. I mean, I think a lot of the reason Solana's been struggling a little bit is because we haven't truly seen like a Solana meme coin season yet, kind of at this point in the cycle, like we saw earlier in March. I mean, March, obviously, basically it was all about Solana meme coins, and people made a ton of money, and so obviously Solana went up a lot for that reason. But overall, I mean, we're seeing a lot of really strong things happening within Solana, and even though we are pulling back on price, it's still looking from like a long-term perspective really, really good. And so I would say don't get distracted by all of the noise that we're seeing within the larger crypto market, because this is how things go, right? I mean, things rotate. If you're going to sell your Solana right now at all-time highs and go rotate into XRP, which is up 300% in the past month, probably not going to work out super well for you, because right now XRP's been moving, and very likely what we will see is XRP will pull back and consolidate and then maybe make another move up. But at that point in time, Solana might be moving up, right? I mean, things rotate within crypto. I think it's fairly easy to see, especially over the course of this year. I mean, it was Solana, and then it was Solana meme coins, and then it was Bitcoin, and then it was Bitcoin ordinals, and then we saw kind of like some movements from alts after that, and then we saw kind of everything pull back for basically all of the summer, and then we saw Bitcoin start to move up, and then we saw Ethereum start to move up, and then the Ethereum like apps and layer 2s and all the things kind of built on and within Ethereum, then they started to move up. It's been very it's very cyclical, right? I mean, now we're seeing XRP and Cardano, and now there's the rush to find the top meme coin on XRP and Cardano, and Sui ecosystem's getting a lot of attention. This is just how it goes, right? I mean, things rotate, and when that happens, yeah, Solana feels like the less shiny object at the time, because it is, but it doesn't change the fundamentals of what's really happening, right? I mean, a lot of these are moving, but they don't necessarily have a whole lot going for them, where on Solana we can see very, very clear and tangible goals and improvements and all these types of things that have been coming out of the Solana ecosystem. So I think it's important not to lose sight of that. If you are interested in trading Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, really basically anything else for that matter, feel free to use my link in the description below and get signed up for BTCC. They are working with me for another month. We can see they've continued this really awesome deal, which is 10% bonus on first time deposits. Really, really great deal. I mean, if you're looking to trade anyway, and let's say you're looking to trade, $5,000, you would get essentially $500 extra to trade for free. And so in my opinion, like if you're going to be doing it anyway, you might as well get some of that free money that you can use, to potentially trade on and make some more money on. So if you are interested, like I said, use the link in the description below. This is in addition to the extra bonuses of up to $10,055 per user. They've been around for 13 years. And so in my opinion, that makes me feel a lot more comfortable that this isn't just like one of those pop-up exchanges that is here because retail is, and then they're going to disappear when the next bear market comes along because they were essentially just around to make a quick buck. No, BTCC's been around for a very, very long time, probably longer than most of us. So it's something that, we can kind of trust that they've been around and they're not just going to here one day, gone the next, which does happen very often, particularly with exchanges in crypto. And so we can also see they've got 300 plus crypto futures and up to 500x leverage. I never trade 500x and also would not recommend it, but if that's something that you are wanting to trade, you can do up to that amount. And then there's no VPN or KYC necessary if that's something that you're interested in. So like I said, go ahead, sign up in the link in the description below. At least get the 10% bonus on first time deposits. I mean, that to me seems like a really, really great thing to do, just because it's free money, right? If you're looking to trade anyway, might as well get more for it. So anyway, like I said, check the link in the description below. Now, moving on, I want to take a look at a really, really nice development that we are seeing here. And this is essentially exactly what I'm talking about, right? Solana has great fundamental growth, progress, improvement, all of this type of stuff happening on it. What we can see is Max Resnick, who's been in the Ethereum ecosystem for a very long time, essentially trying to he's like a researcher trying to help Ethereum scale. He's actually moving over to Solana. And so he has a whole big plan. We can see that there's this larger post here, but he's got this whole big plan essentially to help Solana scale, improve the Solana protocol, prioritizing fee markets and consensus implementations, basically things like help Solana scale and continue to and hit its TPS target that it is looking for. And so this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about, right? I mean, this happened very, very recently. I would consider this some pretty good stuff. I mean, we've seen basically the entire of 2024, people just keep moving over to Solana, whether it's really smart people in the space, whether it's really strong projects in the space, whether it's some combination of both, right? I mean, really, really good things happening within the Solana ecosystem, but at least recently, short term, we've only seen Solana price go down, right? And so that to me is that's okay, because we're seeing this consolidation happen, which one, I believe is good and important for the project. We're starting to see RSI come back, and we're starting to see things we're starting to see the Bollinger Bands compress, which again, we've talked about before. When the Bollinger Bands compress, this is usually a point for volatility. again, not guaranteed which way it's going to go, but could be to the upside, particularly given the fact that the market's been really bullish lately. And so again, a lot of really good things happening within the Solana ecosystem, but people just aren't paying attention to it yet. And usually this happens, and then people will pay attention to it, and Solana's price will blow up and all this type of stuff. I mean, it's a tale as old as time. If you've been in crypto and you're familiar with it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not anything that's particularly unusual or new for any of us who are a little bit more experienced within the ecosystem. But those of you who are new, I would say just because things are not moving doesn't mean it's a bad thing, right? Sometimes it's actually a very, very good thing. So anyway, hopefully you found the information in this video useful. If you did, please do give me a like and subscribe, because it really does help me out. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything like that, also, you can feel free to drop those in the comment section below, because I do try to read and respond to all those. So if there's anything you want me to see, that'd be a pretty good way to do that. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.